Hello, and welcome to the Mitzi Fritzy YouTube channel. This is the full video of turning this 24-inch Yasmin Bratz doll into a goblin. In this first video on my channel, I'm going to keep it casual, and I'm going to talk about the process, and we're just going to hang out. First things first, we must disrobe her, see what condition she's in. It seems like she never was played with much, at least on her body, because she still has this plastic. For some reason though, she was burnt in the hair, so something did happen to her. We're just not sure exactly what. I love this top-down angle, especially in moments like this. Well, we got the forehead cam. Hey. Okay, so I'm tying her hair back because I think I'm gonna keep her natural hair, so I want to preserve it. And going in with this shitty-ass sanding sponge, if we rough up the texture of her skin, the clay that we put on will adhere much better. I'm not really concerned with removing her face paint or anything because it's all gonna get covered anyways. So here we have our epoxy sculpt, we have our part A and part B. I will talk through it since this is the first time I'm showing myself using this product on this page. You mix a 1-to-1 ratio of each part. You really want to incorporate them together, and once they're mixed together, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then it's ready to use. And here's when the countdown starts, where it's going to start to harden and get more and more stiff as you work with it. I find that it's like completely cured the next day, but it does get quite hard within a couple hours, so you really do have to work pretty swiftly. In my experience, each stage of the curing process affords you different benefits. So when it's really soft at the beginning, it's really easy to move around and mush in and make shapes. It's definitely easier to blend into other areas. And then as it gets harder, it's much harder to move around and blend, but you can make, nice fine details and really smooth out the clay. But we'll get to that. We're still in the first part, which is just smashing clay on her face, getting inspired. It looks like I'm torturing a doll. It feels very evil at this moment. Like, I'm just getting the vibe that she is a serial killer that I am torturing. Maybe I'm thinking of like Hannibal Lecter. I don't know why. I guess the face mask, it doesn't really look that similar, but This is the part of my sculpting where I'm like, well, I hope something nice comes out of it. Looks, it's interesting. And here I've dipped my fingers into, sorry, saying fingers just got me. I've dipped my fingers into water, and it just helps, like, smooth out the clay, because it kind of acts a little bit like regular, like, ceramic clay, but also not at all. But yeah, water does help when you want to like slip and slide around the clay. Now it's time to enter the nose. God forbid she ends up with no nostrils. Definitely feels like an invasive procedure, but it must be done. I'm adding some more volume onto the nose and then going back into the water to help smooth it out. So now it's a little bit more blended in, and I can start like really focusing on what kind of shape I want to make. And I need to figure out what I'm going to talk about during the whole length of these videos. I could talk about what books I'm reading, but that would probably be just me talking about Sarah J. Maas for an hour. I mean, I obviously read other books too sometimes. Duh. I watch a lot of Survivor. Anyone still watch Survivor? Literally can't wait till each episode comes out. Oh my god, I should make a Survivor doll. And she'll have a little top made out of her tribe buff. Oh. Okay, so now, as you can see, I'm drawing into the mouth and creating the bottom part of the nose that goes to the lips, the Cupid's bow. Yes, hell yeah. I remember learning in school. I went to an Orthodox Jewish school when I was younger. And they taught us that the Cupid's bow is from when God, like, pressed his lips on the angels. Okay, fingers, not lips. Like, on the spot above their lips, and it made that indent. Wait, does God have a finger? Honestly, I'm probably misremembering this. Have any of you heard this before? Comment down below if you were told by a rabbi that we have Cupid's bows because God hushed us and said, shh, don't speak. Okay. So now we're moving on to the eyes, and I'm drawing them in with this tool that I love so much that I can't find right now. So I'm pretty pissed about that. I'm sure it's not the only one in the world, but I tried to replace it, and the one I got instead sucks. So, I'm on a mission to find that again. So I've laid down a slab for her, like, brow bone that I want to make more pronounced, and this is when the clay is starting to get really hard and really annoying to work with. I don't like wasting clay, so I'm gonna use it, but I'm definitely gonna need to blend this in with some fresher, softer clay later. I'm gonna skip a couple moments because I'm just, like, trying to rub this in and trying to blend it. Oh, and then I think her eyes were, like, bulging out a little bit too much for my liking, so I smoothed that back over and did not commit. And I think this is where I end off on the first sculpting session, as my clay got pretty hard. Oh, scratch that, because I actually took that pretty firm clay and thought, I'm going to use this for the ears. And it's actually kind of fun working with it when it's at this place, as long as it's something that you don't need to be pliable. I feel like once I get the goblin ear on, it starts feeling really thrilling and really exciting. I feel the inspiration and the wave of the transformation washing over me. All right, so this is actually the end of the first sculpting session. Here she is, dry the next day, and I'm thinking she's looking gorgeous. I did want to make her feet that would pop into her shoe sockets, and then I made a boo-boo and the feet drooped while they were drying, and now they're, like, way too pointed. I'm gonna pop them in so you can see what I mean. Her feet are, like, facing backwards, so they're not gonna work for our needs. She is not a ballerina, although I did think about, like, giving her super pointy shoes. Okay, this is the second sculpting session, because if I had painted her straight off of the first one, she would be looking bonkers, and I don't want to draw the eyes on. I want them to be, like, more 3D. I'm also going to be making some edits to her body, so I'll also be doing that with this batch of epoxy clay. I love so much how this clay dries. My only issue with it is that I need to wear gloves, because from my understanding, it's better to wear gloves with this material. You definitely need to wear gloves while you're mixing the two parts. I'm a little unsure on whether you have to wear gloves while you're sculpting, but if you don't, you definitely get a lot of this stuff, like, sticking to your skin, and it's a little bit tricky to get off. But yes, I miss feeling the clay with my fingers, having the epoxy clay dance under my bare fingertips. To be one with the synthetic materials is really something that haunts me that I don't have. But here we are, and my anxiety trumps all, so I am wearing the gloves, and I am a good role model for the youth. So we have her eyelids on there, and now we're going to blend them in with this little round ball tool. You can get them in all sorts of sizes. I'm sure you've seen them before at your local arts dealer. And then here we are using the water, blending it in. I promise that I really want to make an ASMR sculpting video. I just need to really truly commit to wearing headphones while I work so I can listen to something, but then you can still get the sounds of the sculpting. I cannot sculpt or make art and just raw dog life and just listen to my thoughts. Not happening. I'm not that kind of girl. I'm not that person. I need a constant distraction. I mean, you know what? I've actually gotten better sitting with my own thoughts, but I acknowledge that I enjoy sitting with other thoughts externally given to me from a book, television show, movie, other YouTuber, podcast, etc., etc., etc. Even just a nice fireplace. Sometimes I just like to listen to the crackle and pop, I've actually gotten very big on having the fireplace on my TV. It makes me feel like I live in the cabin and not a condo in the city, which is great, but sometimes I want the rustic nature of a crackling fireplace. But I don't actually want to chop wood and light that shit on fire at this present moment. In the future, mark my words, I will be chopping wood. I will be putting it in my fireplace, and it will have proper ventilation, and I will be very cozy. Just not right now. Okay, I don't know why I thought I would like easily have 40 minutes of things to talk about. I mean, I'm sure I do, but now that I'm here, I'm like, damn, making 2 to 3 minute videos, a lot easier. But at the same time, I have a disdain for short videos. What is it? It's just a highlight reel. It's just a snapshot. You get none of the reality, none of the grit. Even in this video, I've like cut out a lot of stuff. Because like people see those videos and they're like, oh my God, how do you do that? Oh my God, you're amazing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I sit here and I struggle. I sit here and I'm like, God damn, I can't blend this thing. And it's like, it takes a while. Ooh, okay, we're here at the body. I plopped on these big knockers and then was like, what am I gonna do with these big knockers? It wasn't really quite working, and I ended up taking them down quite a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love big knockers. My idea was I mean, you'll see, I'm gonna use her clothes and like just alter them a little bit, and I needed them to be able to get on her, so the proportions needed to ratio down. And then I'm adding to her hips too, and we're gonna blend that into the rest of her leg. She's got that bomb chicka bomb bomb. That's actually the medical term for for her anatomy. Like when I go to the doctor and they ask me for my weight, I just say bomb chicka bomb bomb. They're like, oh, got you. I'm also giving her these little back rolls. You're not even gonna see them. I think it was a personal matter that I wanted her to have them. Also, at this point, like, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing with her. I really do trust the process, so I just wanted to add them. It felt right. It felt balanced. Felt like she told me I would like to have a little more chub on the back of my body. And if you could just do that for me quickly, thank you. And I said, yeah, of course, I'm a very accommodating doctor. So I sanded her and then gave her a coat of paint just to see like what I was working with. And once it dried, I was like, yeah, I need to keep sculpting. She's missing a few things. So now we're going to round 3. Like, I have to know, does this process seem really tedious to you? Does it actually seem not that tedious? Like, what is it through the eyes of the watcher, which is you? And yeah, I'm filling out her face more. I guess I underestimated the amount of volume that she would need to get those full cheeks. Okay, it's only been like not even 15 minutes, but if you are still watching this, you need to let me know. I want to hear the evidence. I want someone to say, it's been 14 minutes. I'm here still. I'm with you. That will make me feel on top of the world. I will literally fly to the moon if you tell me that. Okay, so I'm adding more to her lips. And then we're doing a lot of blending, which I'm going to speed past. Watching this part back where I'm making the indent on her eye, I just feel like that really brought it to life. It really made her feel real to me. It was like the moment when Pinocchio becomes a real boy puppet. Not a real boy, but when the puppet comes to life. You know what I'm saying? This probably wasn't super obvious just from the angle that I've been filming, but her forehead was just looking so indented and it needed more volume, so I'm also adding that. And you can see I'm really trying to protect the hair because I think I got some clay in it earlier, so that's why she's got that tape on there. And then one more go over on the body to add on to those hips. I guess it wasn't enough. Is it ever enough? You know what I mean? You know, I just want to grab onto the big hips. Big bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. I literally had a moment the other day where I was singing opera. Actually, no, I was singing The Sound of Music. I was singing, The Hills Are Alive. And, I need to interrupt myself to tell you that her legs broke off and I just went with it and then reattached them later. Not intentional, but maybe for the best. Okay, back to me talking about my opera potential. I was like, if I had gone to training when I was a child to do opera singing, could I have become a beautiful opera singer? Could I have, really learned and trained my voice? Because when I hear myself sing opera, I'm like, it sounds so good to me. It probably sounds like dog shit, but it sounds in my ears, in my head, from my brain, from my ears to my head. It sounds so good. I know you know what I'm saying. It sounds different than when you hear it on recording. It sounds horrible. Sorry, I couldn't not yawn, but I also couldn't stop talking. All right, if it isn't evident enough, this is the first layer of green paint, and it's just acrylic green paint. It's not expensive. It's a folk art brand, super affordable. Got this particular one at Michael's. And I'm doing very thin layers, I think mixed in with a little bit of water, because I wanted to see what it looked like on the skin base if it wasn't opaque. So going in are very thin layers. And then I think in the end I did do enough layers that it did do a full coverage. But, I like to know what it looks like first. Like many things, you can always easily add more, but it's a lot harder to undo something that you've already done. I would say that we're getting close to my favorite part of my process, which is once the base skin layer is on, adding all of the flush color to her skin, the blush, between the eyes. Ooh, can't wait. So I've painted all her parts, and then I even did a curl routine. I basically just brushed it out and scrunched it with conditioner in my sink. Maybe I added a little bit of product after. If you can remember what it looked like before, it is a huge improvement. And here we are at my favorite part. Adding pinkness and warmth to the skin really never gets old to me. I could just do this all day long. This is just where she comes alive. I know I already said that when I did her eye wrinkle, but she also comes alive here. And I mean, adding blush, it's not just for the cheeks, right? It adds depth to so many different parts of the body. Maybe it's something about just green and pink. I'm obviously obsessed with green and pink. Yeah, just these two colors together, as well as the fact that the blush kind of symbolizes the blood in the body and being alive. And I guess, you know what? It's just cute. It looks so cute. It makes her look so cute. And I love blending. When you get that perfect gradient between colors, nothing beats that. Okay, I'm going to speed you through this, because this is only the first layer of adding some color to her skin. Well, I guess adding a different color to her green skin. Now we're doing her juicy lippies, and then we're going to move down to her body, and obviously the ears, shoulders, collarbone, titties, anywhere that I just want to call a little attention to, create a little bit of depth. And now I'm going in with a brownish color for her lips, because I want her to be aesthetically kind of a 90s, a pinky brown lip, a bit of a grungier, not grungy, but just, I want her to be a slightly alternative 90s, early 2000s mood. Okay, here's the mood board. It's fall, it's 1998, and she's a vampire. That's the mood, okay? So now you know where I'm trying to go. I love painting the face because it's basically just like doing her makeup. I'm using a little concealer around the lips just to crisp up that line. I actually do my makeup similarly to this, in the sense that I often use blush as a base for my eyes. It makes you look very romantic. I saw that in a video once, and I have to say I do feel romantic when I do it. Filling in her eyebrows to match her hair best as it can. Trying to make the clay there look a little bit more natural and realistic, quote unquote. Like, none of this is realistic. You know what I mean. Trying to make it look good, okay? Good is my descriptor word. I forgot I have this shot of her laying in the sun. Hope my neighbors enjoy me. Now she's getting her little pedicure moment, and this is very important because she will be wearing open-toed shoes, and I know I said that this was going to be in the fall, but think of it as like September, early September. Like the sun is still out, but everyone's like really ready for fall aesthetic. Okay, so now we are putting on more blush, but I'm using a glossy acrylic medium to do this, and I find that when I do it like this, it adds like layers and depth to the skin. So I'm adding blush but in like a translucent layer, and I'm not like blending it in with the green anymore. It is suspended in a clear layer. It's a glaze. I'm glazing her. She's getting glazed up. Okay, now we're doing something completely different, which is making the shoes, and these shoes are so clunky and hilarious. I made them off camera with the same clay, and I like pushed her foot onto it to get her sole imprinted. So they look crazy, but it really does fit her foot perfectly, because ideally I would love her to be able to stand on her own without like anything supporting her. So that is the goal here. I really feel like I'm having like a cobbler moment here. So I'm cutting out this felt, and that's going to be the bottom of her shoe. Actually, I think I put it on the bottom and the top. I didn't say that I was a good cobbler. I just said that I was having a cobbler moment. So actually, it's all coming back to me what I did to make these shoes, and it gets even crazier. I think I started this in August and probably didn't finish till September or maybe even October. So rewatching this footage, a lot's coming back to me. I think I miscalculated the height, and I had to like kind of build up a few layers on the bottoms. And then this is me just not wanting to start again, and I'm like smoothing out the sides with this like thick gel medium that I have. I wouldn't recommend. It was a stupid technique. I was just like making use with like something that I had. And now with Our Lady, I'm just doing a pencil in of the eyes, and then I'm gonna go in and paint it. I should mention, if you have any questions about materials, I can let you know what I'm using down below. I guess I can also do a video talking about like all my supplies and what I frequently use if anybody's interested. It's hard for me to go through what I'm using like in the video now because I have so many random little things, and like I'm a little bit all over the place, so I'm like always mixing and matching and making art soup. So her body's not completely finished, but I wanted to get her clothes fitted on, so putting her top back on, and then I'm just gonna sew it a little bit so it hangs a bit more off the shoulder and that the ruffles sit down. And then for the skirt, I'm opening that up, and I ended up basically just shortening it and making a little mini skirt out of the same material. This was the first time I kind of took the clothes and did something else with them, and it was really fun because, I mean, obviously it's a lot easier to like alter something than start from scratch, but I just think that it's cute the way it came out. I mean, it was actually cute before too, but I did have to alter it to fit her new body, yada yada, you know? Once I put in the red paint in her eyes, I got really excited about her overall look, especially with the way that it pairs with the like sweet and like proper little outfit that she has. Maybe proper is not the right word when your skirt barely makes it past your coochie, but you know, it's sweet and lacy. And then the eyes are giving you, I'll eat you for breakfast. Here is a nice little shot of my work table in this moment in time. That is not toilet paper, that is, oh my god, paper towel. I don't want to hear any of you saying that I'm wiping my butt at my art desk, because I'm not. And I don't want to hear anyone say she wouldn't be so defensive about it and worried about it unless she was. No, I'm still not. Okay, so we're doing her pupils and anything else on her face that needs a little bit of black paint, since I have that out. So that will also be a little bit of eyeliner and a little bit of smokiness to the eyes. If she looks like she's not looking in the same direction, you're wrong. She's not cross-eyed. Or, what's it called when you're not crossing your eyes, but they're open in the either direction? Her eyes are neither crossed nor uncrossed. They are where they need to be, and just don't worry about it. I actually do think I fixed it. Not that there was anything to fix, obviously, but you're fine. There's something about this, like, shot of her just sitting here that is so interesting to me, because she is so beautiful, and I feel like I have no right to, like, be in her presence. There I am, just, like, trying to find my brush, like, bumbling around, and she's just sitting there, like, absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. And I'm just like this disgusting sack of meat flesh that has a heartbeat and like functioning disgusting organs, and she is immaculate and she's very still. She's very elegant. I wonder what part of her I envy. Perhaps just the fact that she's inanimate, like to exist and not bother anyone, to not be annoying. It is something that makes me jealous. Okay, so here we have this weird little platform thing that I made in the most butchered way, and I'm going to paint them black so that we hide all of all of this weirdness. And then while those dry, I'm gonna start giving her a clear coat. I apologize for the position that she is in. God, these shoes are ugly. Okay, so this is the best part, when we give her freckles and beauty marks and such. One of the reasons that I bounce around between so many different parts and you don't see it like from start to finish is because that is the process and that is the order that my clips are in. I could rearrange them so like the start to finish shoe would be in one section, but then you would see some things finished that I haven't done yet. I mean, in the video that I haven't shown yet. So I'm basically just editing this in the order that I did it. I would actually love for you to let me know in the comments if it feels disjointed and hectic, or if it's interesting to see the real behind the scenes action. Feels really silly that I just used action in that context. Obviously things are happening. Wouldn't say that it's action packed, but things were done. Were they behind the scenes? What scenes? What are the scenes that these scenes are behind of? We really just speak in ways where we use phrases that we've heard before and they may or may not actually apply to what we're talking about. And I'm one of those people that I that's what I do. There's actually very limited original thoughts in my head. I'm merely a sheep with the voice of a parrot. Oh, and yes, in putting the shoes on, I thought I could put the shoe on and like glue the straps to the base, but then I realized that wasn't working, so I'm gluing the straps straight onto her foot, and then we're gonna put the platform straight onto her foot. Her shoes are glued, she cannot take them off. But back to what I was saying, I really am a sponge, and I just absorb from everyone around me. Like, if we become friends, everything, like every like funny little joke and like thing that you've been saying your whole life, I'll start saying that. And then I'll say it to other people when you're not around, and they'll be like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. Like, how did you come up with that? And I will say, oh, my friend blah 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 says that all the time. So I will give credit where it's due. But yeah, I'm a repeater. I mean, I think most people are. They just don't admit it. Wow, I can't believe I found a way to give myself props after all that. I'm so amazing because I give credit to the sayings and slang that I use. I mean, let's be real. What is the ability to speak if not just something we've stolen from our parents? Wow, that's so unoriginal that we didn't come up with the ability to use language like just on our own, like in the womb. Okay, so we're getting closer to the end here, and I'm gonna do her hair, and we're just gonna keep it really simple, and I'm gonna give her the style that I frequently wear, which is half up, half down. It's giving like polished, put together, but also like romantic and down, loose curls, etc., etc. Okay, and then the last thing that there is to do is her nails, Because I didn't avoid painting on them before, I'm using straight acetone to remove the paint that is on her actual nail bed. And I'm just doing that because in my experience, the glue that I'm going to use just doesn't stick as well to the coated surface. And it will adhere much better to the straight up plastic that she originally was under her second skin. So yeah, if you're a Bratz collector and this whole thing really angers you, she's actually still in there. She's like not really damaged. She's there. She's just she's scuffed up a little bit and she is just in a disguise. Wait, that would be such a funny video after to do a restoration to her original form. I mean, I wouldn't, but it would be funny. So now we're taking this tiny little file and I'm going to file her nails so that they are scratched up a little bit so that the glue will adhere easier. And I also just want to make her nail beds look nice. So we're giving her a manicure. Oh, do you think that this is excessive? Well, you would probably be right. However, I had so much fun with this tiny file and these tiny little nails. So don't even think about saying something like, you didn't need to file down her nail beds. You're just going to cover them anyways. I don't care. And yes, that is how you talk when you write a comment on a YouTube video. Oh, what? Why did you do that? Oh, it was unnecessary, and you could have, in my opinion, it would have been much easier to do this and that. Oh, I liked the old videos you used to post. I liked you back in the day, and now I don't really like you as much anymore. Regardless that I'm here commenting. If I may say you've changed. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. I was like possessed. I was possessed by the spirit of someone who doesn't like their favorite creator anymore. Okay, so this is how I make the nails. I take a piece of plastic that I have saved and I looked for curved bits that would look nice as a nail, like, you know, a curved little nail. So I'm taking this plastic from, I think these were earbuds, and I'm gonna cut it and shape it. It really does have the perfect arc for her fingers. And it's things like this, which is why I have such a hard time throwing anything away. I'm such a hoarder when it comes to things that I feel like could be used in an art project. But that essentially becomes everything. Everything could be used. And I really don't know how to throw things away. And it is a big stress in my life. Like I'm being pulled from two sides. One, reduce, reuse, recycle. And I'm like, reuse, reuse, reuse. And then the other side is like, Ruthie, don't you want to be minimal in your home? Don't you want to like have clear counters and, clear shelves? Don't you want your drawers to be organized? And then it's like, how disgusting of you to throw away this piece of plastic that you could use in the future. You must keep it. You must put it on your shelf. You must put things on every surface in your house. And I'm basically doomed to live this, being in the middle of this tug of war until I die, probably. Wow, that was so infuriating to watch that little nail pop off the middle finger. Obviously, I'm going to put it back, but sheesh. And this is the other hand. Wow, what a really great zoom in. Some of this footage is like horrible because it was filmed vertically and now I'm making it horizontal and it sucks. Honestly, it sucks. It's so zoomed in because of that. And I learned my lesson in the future. I will not be filming vertically and then trying to convert it as best as I can. And now we are cutting the nails to be closer to the shape that I want. They started off square, but they obviously are not staying square. I'm doing little pointy nails, and they actually ended up so sharp. I stabbed myself on these so many times, especially when you see like what they're gonna look like in the end. They ended up so sharp. And then we're taking some, like, I think this is just clear gel polish, and I'm gonna build up on them. The other way to do this is with hot glue, but it dries more opaque, and I wanted these ones to be really clear, and you can see that they came out super clear. Love it. And now I'm putting down some red gel polish, and I want to do a little bit of a fade. These nails are honestly really simple. I didn't like do any like cool design. I just wanted them to be kind of bloody looking. So I'm taking this dark red and this normal red, and blending them out to the tips, but leaving the tips clear. And they just look so cute and delicious. I'm using my UV light, and there they are. I really can't tell you the amount of times I stabbed myself and like audibly was like, ow, what the fuck? They are very, very sharp. Oh, and of course I misspoke when I told you that was the last thing, because she needs lashes, obviously. And I put some cute little thicky ones on, and I think they look great. I didn't want to bother with like individual lashes or clusters. I just went in with a full piece, a full lash. I don't know why I complicated that so much. Wow, my nails were so long and like healthy looking in these clips. Maybe gross, I don't know. They're definitely very short right now. And wow, the lashes just really complete her. They look so beautiful. Even when watching this back, I feel so excited. The coloring on her with this like soft corally orange blush and the dark red eyes makes me so happy. I absolutely adore how it came out. Okay, and I mean, she's done now. I'm just gonna show you some like cursed weird footage that I took of her. For some reason, it was like really important to me to get a bunch of video clips of her with my animatronic cat and other robotic animals that I have. I also have this little pink poodly guy. It's cute because like he's actually the right size for her, and they look good together. And please don't come for me for this background. It is so ugly. I don't know. I didn't know. Okay, now we had a frog photo shoot. Hard to explain this one. Just pulling up all the different frogs. Let's go. Now we have all the frogs together in one photo, so it's kind of like a family photo. Okay, and this is her solo dolo beauty shots. The backdrop actually makes me feel like we're at a department store. If you watched this entire video, I would really like you to let me know by posting something like, I don't know, beans or spilled wine emoji in the comments. What else is a fun one? Some chains. Obviously like and subscribe, duh. But yeah, say something. Say something. See the video? Say something. Okay, love you so much. Bye! Isn't that funny? Hey, yo.